glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Off the east coast of Russia, they're having an earthquake swarm after a magnitude 6.1, 6.2 earthquake, depending on who you want to listen to. USGS said it was a magnitude 6.0. There's been, 22 earthquakes since this last 24 hours. And there was a brief tsunami warning put out, but it was quickly lifted. There's been a lot of earthquakes since they had that magnitude 8.8 back on July 30th, I believe it was. And geologists say there is still a chance, a 24% chance, in the coming months for another large earthquake. The original 8.8 earthquake, that sparked tsunami warnings all the way to Chile and along the entire east coast of the United States. There was a small tsunami that did strike the United States from that 8.8. So it's a reminder that people need to be prepared if something larger happens again. Here's some of the felt reports that were sent in to EMSC. It's been the third time this morning, with a little musical note. Some people did evacuate their buildings when the 6.1 or whatever it was occurred. Another report says, whatever shaking, it's embarrassing. It's getting really long. And this time, the walk was clear. I guess when they evacuated before, they didn't have good weather. Another one says, that's good, that I was already in my car about 5 minutes before the earthquake struck. It's already sick. It's time for you to say goodbye. So, they're getting tired of the earthquakes, and they worry that something bigger is probably coming. Another one says it was good. Another one, it took a long time. I think it's burning. Remember the volcano that erupted after that 8.8 earthquake. And another one says it's a nervous system. It's shaking. It's going again tonight. Going to Google Earth, here's that volcano that erupted after being quiet for over 600 years. And when they had that 8.8 earthquake, So I don't know. I looked for videos, but it was late last night, I believe, when this earthquake occurred. So I can't find any videos of the shaking. I did find that there in Russia, they passed a new law because of winter coming. Probably just starting over there. I don't know. But if the municipalities do not provide proper heat for the residents there in Russia, they're going to start imposing fines. Yeah, big fines. All these earthquakes are being caused by the Pacific Plate being pushed subducting under the Oshkosh Plate. Stress has built up evidently in this location because the plates were probably stuck for a while. You can see here back in 1952 there was a 9.0 with a tsunami. When there is a large earthquake and the fault does rupture, you're going to see many smaller earthquakes afterwards as the fault adjusts. So this 8.8 probably transferred stress to smaller faults. You can probably see different areas where there's more likely faults that run through this area. So they're reacting also to these earthquakes. Kamchatka lies on the northeastern boundary of the Ring of Fire. And this location actually has about 90% of the world's earthquakes. The recent earthquakes have been fairly shallow, so they are felt over a wider area. And large earthquakes can fracture magma chambers. That's why the other volcano erupted. The 8.8 fractured the outside walls of the magma chamber, and then they had that eruption. The Krasheninnikov volcano is currently under alert green. Currently, there's no eruption going on or ash plumes, and it is a twin volcano, a stratovolcano. But since that initial eruption, yeah, everything is good. There's no signs of magma movement or earthquakes or anything like that. Officially, the eruption of the volcano ended on September 30th, I believe. And on October 19th through the 20th, there is a fissure that's 1 kilometer long, which did put out some ash. So even though the current alert level is green, they still warn people that if they do have another large earthquake, yeah, it possibly could erupt again. The area of Kamchatka has over 300 volcanoes, where 29 of them are considered active. So that's all I have for you right now. Gonna keep a watch on this. What are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Yeah, still a 24% chance of another large earthquake in the coming months. Yeah, stress has built up, and as the Earth's magnetic field weakens, we're seeing more and more earthquakes around the world and larger earthquakes. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.